funny motion running plays. Let's start with the FB open L. So here, you're going to see a motion. Typically, of course, you're going to let that guy go all the way to the top. You're going to see the hole open up right there, and the guy is not going to be in a good position. A number of different positions can make this play. Basically, it's one of these, basically anybody other than ROLB is in a situation where they can do it. There, he, of course, gets a nice follow from that guy. I wasn't really wanting to test his ability to ghost there. RLB is not ideal, but sometimes you're in that situation where you gotta make a play. And then of course you're gonna see here the RLB. He's not actually in that bad of a spot. But again, it's not really the place that you would prefer to see that. Of course, if you call a play, guy's gonna get rocked. So let's talk about the one-back sweep seconds play. So this guy, he's going to delay a little bit. Notice, I missed it. There's a path that you can take that's going to be able to cause the guy to dive in the middle of the line. There he just gets blocked. So you just have to proceed with it. But see if we can show you the cut. There, he just gets rocked. You'll notice on this play, sometimes those guards just kind of stand there looking stupid, not really doing anything. Sometimes it's because they don't actually acquire a target. Like if you go close enough to them, they will actually get a guy. You see there the engagement from the AI. But that can be one thing. If you are using one of those linebacker guys, you do have that option. And of course there, it doesn't look like I'm going to be able to show you the diagonal cut that you can use to get through that little patch. There, okay, this comes wide open. So you basically have a number of different ways you can run this, but of course it is a naked run. And while we're still on offense, I'll just run the one setback dive a couple times. Again, this is not, guys will delay on this. This is one of those where they'll kind of hang around and wait for a guy to free up or for you to make a mistake. So I'll punt it away, and we'll get to the defensive side of these plays. So on the one-back sweep, you are typically, a couple of different ways you can defend this, right? RLB, can get a free release on it. I have seen times where he does wind up attracting coverage, but that's one. You'll see here, notice his guards just kind of stand there and look stupid. So you just disengage and you can make a play. Another options that you have, so you can take LLB, do something well, or maybe I can just not hit the button well enough. That's unfortunate. So if you say I want to use the LLB, you just take him on right there and you get rid of him. So that's another way that you can do this. And then of course you have, get to the cornerbacks on this play. I think almost the key thing on this play is to try and avoid getting yourself into a position where you have to deal with this wide receiver. I'll show you a little bit. So here, right, this is sort of like what you want to avoid, is having to deal with that, because you can come in on the play, but there's just no reason to. Because the way they're going to match up is free safeties. I'll just bail out of this so you can see, but you see wide receiver number one is chasing across the field, but free safeties wind up basically being two safeties wind up basically just being not covered at all. So we'll go back in, we will get to Fullington, and then you see there, eventually that guy comes down. But if you got a fast free safety, this is not really going to be a difficult play for him to deal with. And then he brings him up because that's the design of play, but you have him boxed in. So that's kind of the angles on that guy. Now let's talk about the dive. So one of the things I've noticed about this dive is that you notice that RLB is free on some of these other ones. If you take him here, notice that guy will be assigned to you. We'll run this play again, show you. So starts there, guy that comes up and stops in motion. So if you're going to do this wait outside the hole thing, you see sometimes he'll kind of go out and sometimes he'll go in. But if you do that wait outside the hole defense that you may know from the FB power dives and the other ones is, well, if I can actually call it correct play, I'm going to let him go a little bit further. Sometimes the guy will be able to wait for you on that, and then he'll be able to take you on. So gotta be careful about that. Obviously, I'm dealing with the CPU. CPU is not going to pose a challenge in terms of being able to dive tackle through that hole. But again, guys know that this play is weak when they install it. I mean, a lot of times they'll see it naked, so they'll just install a play straight up and not have any pass play that covers for it. So again, don't be afraid to use a safety on this play, just to not have to worry about those types of things if you see it. That thing that's really, I screw this up too, but that's one of the things that you got to look for when they start in their playbook. And there you see the motion. It attracts the attention of that blocker, and that's not really what you wanted. So yeah, don't be afraid in that instance then to take that. Also, of course, do this guy. That play will also work on this. So that's kind of the rough schematic of what's going to go on with this one step back dive. Nothing too crazy. Anyway, now why don't we do this since we're on this thing? Don't know why I'm calling it down here. This is not really informative. You'll notice there, didn't really show it to you. We'll have a little bit better opportunity to see it this way. So a lot of guys will install this in the third slot. They've got one of these. Notice that all these guys are on line right here. So that's obviously it's not really that strong a play. What you're going to tend to see is guys will try to get almost like not really a quick hitter, but they'll try and get to this guy really fast because he's really the point of this play. Now you can lead on this play action Z in. You can lead this receiver. Well, didn't get it off quickly enough there. But you can lead him up. I mean, you see the motion very clearly. Shoot, didn't get him. Not that was a wise play anyway. One other thing I would note is that if you're trying to do like a linebacker dive on this play, that you can also linebacker through there and you can take down that guy. And sometimes you'll see that, see if we can get a speed mismatch here. Running back will be able to get through this hole, but the quarterback won't, or vice versa. Of course, I'm not using the ideal personnel to show a LLB dive on this play, but there. So again, you can take the dive down that way too, or the play action pass that comes off of it. Anyway, so this is kind of the motion plays that you tend to see, what you can do about them. Guys will feature these in any random number of combinations. So if you need, you can sell out on some of those plays, or you can just disregard and use optimal personnel because they're not really challenging you. RLB, sometimes LLB will be able to shut it all down. Just depends on the player. Some players really like this. If you have those players, you get your strong LLB, you're going to force them out of a number of these plays or make them run them in situations they really don't like. Anyway, hope you enjoyed this video. Leave your comments and feedback, and I'll see you next time.